So before I was diagnosed with autism earlier this year, I did not know about RSD or rejection sensitive dysphoria. And I have been looking back on my life and realizing how big a part that played in, especially my childhood, because there were so many times that I avoided social interaction just because I was scared of rejection. Even if it was like just a little criticism, it was like the end of the world for me. And I would just start crying, even though in many cases, I just didn't understand sarcasm and jokes. And so because of that, I took everything at face value. So when people were just saying a joke, I would just start crying because I thought it was like I was being rejected. And that is something that has also been happening that I noticed with my kids as they were growing up. I had to explicitly like explain to them when someone was joking or being sarcastic and that it wasn't like meant to intentionally like harm them or whatever. And now I understand that that was RSD. It would have been helpful for me to know this sooner because, for instance, if you are like late 30s or 40, maybe 40s and 50s, do you remember like your mama so fat jokes? Those were the death of me because like my friends started telling me these jokes, right? And they'd go back and forth, right? And I'd just be like watching or whatever. But then at some point they would start saying them to me. They'd be like, your mama's so fat. She have her own zip code. I was like, first of all, my mom is not fat. Second of all, that is so mean. Like I didn't understand at the time. These were all like busts. Like we were busted on each other, but I was being busted on for real. Like they were inflicting like emotional damage to my soul because I did not understand joking. I did not understand busting. I remember crying and my friends like telling me that it's just a joke. Like, why am I so sensitive? And so what I ended up doing was somehow I got my hands on a book. My favorite comic when I was younger was Garfield, and he actually had a book called something like Garfield's Put Downs, Insults, and Slams. I bought that book somehow, I don't know, because this was before the internet, guys. I was out here having to deal with the autism and the ADHD while not having internet, guys. So I was out in the wild and somehow I found this book. I studied this book from front to back. I learned all of the insults, put downs, and slams, guys, from this book. That book saved my life. Because I had some like good comebacks or something to say, or like because I didn't understand like what kind of cruel game is this? I don't understand, but I remember studying it like I had a final exam on it, guys. It's just so funny talking about it. I am glad to know about RSD now because at least I could help my kids to navigate sarcasm and things like that. I've been exploring channels that have like different social stories. Like I'll try to link some below, but there's this one channel I found recently and it has like just good examples of social stories that kids and teens can identify with. Yeah, I'm gonna like dive into that to help my kiddos. But oh my goodness, guys. As you can imagine, once I got into like adolescence and, you know, college and everything, not knowing this about myself and trying to just kind of like navigate it. And over time, I was able to hold in my emotions more. I'm not saying it was healthy, but I was able to regulate them a bit more and tell myself that people are just joking or it's just a joke. I'm still to this day super gullible with things, but I don't take the insult personally anymore because I've made like rules for myself where if I notice someone is being mean, whether it's intentional or not, I just am able to remind myself that it's a reflection of them and not me, and no matter what, I'm awesome. But I've been able to just kind of build a construct for myself that allows me not to care about what other people are thinking, especially when it comes to me. It's taken so much inner work though. I've read so much like books on stoicism, like especially like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Ryan Holiday, anything Ryan Holiday, I eat that stuff up, guys. There's this book, I don't remember what it's called, but I'll show it up on the screen. This guy was basically always scared of rejection. So he went around every day and had weird, strange requests that he would ask people knowing that they would say no. And he was like resigned to just accept the no and be okay with that. And the thing is, sometimes the people said yes. but he realized he didn't die. Like after someone said no, he didn't die. So it made me think like, you know, what's the harm in asking for something? Because you never know. Like the worst they could say is no, but it's not the end of the world. There's always another way, or maybe it's just really not the time or whatever. But I was able to get more used to no's. And that's why, you know, at age 42, I definitely have taken a lot more risks, even in just this past year, than I have in like a good proportion of my life. Like I would say in my late 30s, early 40s is when I was able to get better at accepting rejection. But before that, it was like my life was just cycled all around feelings of rejection and what people thought of me, and that my worth was based on other people's approval of me. It's not just for our neurotype, it's like in general that this is a thing. And it's like, how do you make sure that your self-worth isn't determined by, you know, other people's views of you or what you think other people think of you? It's just a good practice in personal development and learning to just be able to love yourself regardless and know that you're doing the best that you can. And I'm glad that I figured all this stuff out. Well, I mean, it's like I'm like 40 already, but like I'm glad that I've worked this out, because I feel like there's plenty of people, unfortunately, even, you know, older than me, that are still, you know, they're stuck because they put so much value on what other people think of them. You know, while this is about like RSD and I guess like neurodivergence and all that stuff, it's still applicable to life in general for everyone, I would say. I mean, I've just always been on a journey of personal growth. It's just I didn't know how much harder I was actually working because of being undiagnosed. So I just wanted to share this with you. Your mama is not so fat. Like, I'm so sorry. I just think back to those days when I was like 8 or 9 years old, and like I thought it was the end of the world because my mom was not fat, but everyone was saying she was. Anyway, community is opening at some point, all right? The cops are coming. So maybe the community is not opening. I don't know, decide. Whatever, we want to make it. Okay, guys? You get it? You get in there, and you guys, I'm leaving it up to you to form the bonds, do the things, okay? More info in the description below. If you have dealt with RSC, let me know what has helped you. I would love to hear from you. Please help me. Please help one another in the comments. Share your experiences so we know we're not alone. And I will see you in the next one. Stay audacious. Okay, bye.